Hello, everyone. Good day. And welcome again to One Global Movement, where we speak from our hearts to support our children, young people, and women. And we are so grateful that we are here together doing it and doing it with action, not just talking. And so, thank you guys so much. Thanks. The managing director is here. Thank you, Sister Yvonne. And thanks to the other people and those that are still to come and those that are unable to come today. We know that we can anchor ourselves on YouTube because we have them there. And you can go there at any time and watch. And let us do this thing, like we always say, authentically. Do it with action. Do it naturally, because there's no other way that we can help this population in the world, but do what we are doing. We don't just come here because of something else, but to do what we say we want to do. And so I just want to thank you guys. And when you're doing it in your own private endeavors, it's still also the same thing. Or you're doing it behind the scene, because there are a lot of people here that are working behind the scene for the purpose of humanity, serving children, women, and young people. And we need to always recognize that, because thank you is something that is so powerful. And it will also uplift their spirit to continue to do what they're doing in their various communities around the world. So we are in One Global Movement Revolution Part 383. Everyday courage, small acts that challenge big injustices. And our focus here is we're trying to see how we can equip children and young adults to see their role in creating fairness in schools, communities, and online spaces. But it has to start from home. Either way, it starts at home from us, the parents and the adults around these children. The way we bring them up, the way we speak to them, we have to be that role model, those role models that we want them when they go into the world, they will be good global citizens in their various school environments, in with their friends or wherever in the world that they find themselves. So this is very, very important. We have to do it with action, but with good examples, because a child cannot do something unless we do it first, because it's the vibration. Whatever you send out, that is exactly what these children are going to take. So before we continue, as usual, let us thank the creator of the universe for giving us life today, and for continuing to pave the way for us to do what we are doing here. Heavenly Father, source of light and justice, today we lift our hearts as vessels of your courage. Teach us, O Lord, that even the smallest act, a word of kindness, a hug, a stand for truth, a helping hand, carries the power to challenge great injustice. Let our children see that bravery is born in daily choices, and that compassion is the first step towards change. May our women rise in wisdom, our young people walk in purpose, and our communities breathe in unity. Strengthen us, Lord, to turn silence into speech, fear into faith, and despair into hope. For in these simple, steadfast acts, we build the world you dream of, a world of light, fairness, and love. Lord, we ask you to intervene, especially this time around in the world where there's a lot of chaos, there's a lot of instability, there's a lot of, if I may say, killings. There's a lot going on, and those that suffer are the children, the young people, and women. Lord, there is a saying that when two elephants fight, it is the grass that suffers. And the grass in this case are women and children and young people. Lord, protect them from harm, protect them from hunger, protect them from illiteracy. Help us to place a book in every child's hand, because that might just be the escape route to freedom that they need. Thank you, Father, and we commit and submit everything into your hands through Jesus. We ask, Amen.
Amen. Thank you,
All
Sister.
right. Yes, and over to you, sister.
All right, so today we go into our regular routine of remembering why we are doing what we are doing, reminding ourselves and everyone. This is the vision and mission statement of One Global Movement. It's very dark in here, sister. I can hardly see. um,
Let me see. I'm trying to copy this. Maybe it's me. Okay. You see me though?
I can see you, yes.
Okay.
The vision and mission statement of One Global Movement, which we sometimes shorten to OGM. One Global Movement will support any organization, group, or individual that aligns with its global vision and mission, which is as follows. The mission of One Global Movement is to empower young people, children, and women worldwide with a focus on young women, providing them with the tools and sustainable solutions that will help them eradicate hunger, illiteracy, and poverty to build generational wealth while living a life of leadership and purpose. We believe that every child deserves access to nutritious food, quality education, and opportunities to thrive. Through global collaborative efforts, innovative programs, and community engagement programs, we strive to break the cycle of hunger and illiteracy and poverty and to build a future where every child can build on their hopes and dreams while reaching their full potential. So, together, through divine intervention, love, and clean, safe, and valuable technology, we can create such a world where no child goes to bed hungry, no child is denied an education, and no child is limited to poverty or to any condition that is not of their own making. It is possible. Our gratitude and thanksgiving goes to our divine creator, who is our ultimate provider and who has promised to supply us abundantly, not just for ourselves, but to do good works by helping uplift and care for all of humanity. We thank everyone who supports OGM and wish us all success in our various businesses and world changing endeavors. And that is our vision and mission statement for One Global Movement.
Thank
Let's
you.
hope it resonates with everybody because that's what we're here for.
Yep.
And then we have another exciting topic, as I say every time.
Very exciting.
Everyday courage, small acts that change big injustices. Started with a quote or a injunction or whatever you want to call it from the Bible, because this is where we always go. Because the Bible has a very firm caution against taking advantage of others, especially the widows, the poor, the fatherless, and
Mhm.
orphans.
Yeah.
We are told to defend the oppressed, speak up for the voiceless, and correct oppression. This is in a book called Micah, and it's verse 6.
Mhm.
There's a story I love to share. It's about a young woman, it's simple, who worked in a small office. And every week, an older colleague made so called jokes at the expense of others, mocking people's accents, their gender, and even their clothes.
Mhm.
And most people would laugh nervously or look away, which is what sometimes people do when they don't know what to do. But
Yeah.
one day, this young woman, she did not. She looked him in the eye and she said quietly but firmly, "That's not funny."
Mhm.
The room fell silent, no applause, no spotlight, but something shifted. The atmosphere changed. Others began to realize that their silence had been permission for unkindness. That's where it starts.
Mhm.
One person. That is everyday courage, the kind that doesn't make headlines, but it changes climates around you. It changes the atmosphere. It makes big changes. We often celebrate the great names like my daughter, Malala, and Rosa Parks, and Nelson Mandela,
Yeah.
and rightly so. But courage doesn't always need to be historic or heroic.
Mhm.
Sometimes it's a teacher defending a student. Sometimes it's a young man refusing to laugh at a cruel joke. Sometimes it's you choosing integrity when no one would know otherwise. Everyday courage is not about being famous, it's about being faithful to what is right. So let us define everyday courage. When we picture courage, we often imagine dramatic rescues, protests, or historic speeches, and those are fine. But everyday courage is quieter.
Yeah.
It is the decision to do what's right when it would be easier to not do so. It's moral clarity over comfort. Everyday courage is the act of challenging small injustices before they grow into big ones. It's saying no to what everyone else excuses. It's showing up for someone who's alone. It's being ethical when no one is watching. Injustice doesn't begin as a global crisis, it never does. It begins as tolerated wrongs that accumulate little by little until they shape culture. So, our task, each of us, is to become interrupters of that pattern. Why small acts matter. History and sociology agree. Lasting change doesn't begin with institutions, it begins with individuals. Every great movement for equality, education, and freedom started with ordinary people who simply decided that enough is enough. Small acts are like drops of water. Each one seems insignificant, but together they carve through stone. And that's the power of everyday courage. So I like the framework of the word courage, Courage. Courage doesn't require a title, a budget, or permission. It begins with a choice, your choice, my choice. So here's a framework to help us live courageously one day at a time. We choose to care. That's the C in the word courage. That's the first letter. Courage is then the birth, care is then the birthplace of courage. That's where it starts. When you care enough to notice and to feel, you'll find reason to act. Indifference is easy. Empathy costs more, but empathy is the beginning of justice. And then O in the word courage. Own your voice. Silence is the quiet partner of injustice. Owning your voice doesn't mean shouting, it means speaking with purpose, correcting misinformation, calling out unfairness, standing for truth in your circle of influence. And then you in the word is to unite in purpose. Courage multiplies in company. When people unite around a cause, clean water, fair treatment, human dignity, their combined conviction becomes unstoppable. Collaboration converts courage into change. The R in the word is to resist apathy. Apathy whispers, it's not my problem. But every injustice left unchecked becomes everyone's problem eventually. Everyday courage resists the drift toward detachment and chooses involvement over convenience. And then the A is to act anyway. Courage is not the absence of fear, it never has been. It is action in the presence of fear. You may never feel ready, but act anyway. The difference between intention and impact is always action. The G in the word is to give grace. Courage without compassion becomes aggression. We don't want that. We can challenge systems without dehumanizing people. True courage transforms, not through condemnation, but through example, empathy, and education. And then the E in the word, courage, is to elevate others. Every time you empower someone else to be brave, you multiply courage. Encourage others, amplify their voices, and create safe spaces for truth to strive. You want truth to thrive. That's how movements grow, not from one hero, but from many helpers. So, how do we put this all together? We talk about big injustices. They can feel overwhelming. Poverty, discrimination, GBV, which is gender based violence, corruption, environmental degradation. There's a lot of injustices in this world. But systematic change begins with moral courage at the individual level. That's where it begins. Governments can't legislate enough because lots of laws are out there and people break them all the time. Each act, each refusal to stay silent weakens the hold of injustice somewhere. And when you mentor a child, you advocate for fairness, or you challenge biases, or support a marginalized voice, you are already part of that change. Everyday courage is the invisible infrastructure of a just society. It's what keeps integrity alive when applause fades and cameras turn away. So, our call to action is to look around your own world, your space, your workplace, your classroom, your community, your online space, and ask yourself, where does my silence serve injustice? Because injustice lives in silence. Where can I replace comfort with courage? Then begin. Don't wait for the perfect moment or the perfect platform. Start with one act. Just like that one at the beginning of the story where I said, she just said, that is not funny. One choice. Because everyday courage doesn't just confront injustice, it dismantles it one decision at a time. Courage does not always roar. Sometimes it's the quiet voice at the end of the day saying, I will try again tomorrow. Our world doesn't only need heroes, it needs humans willing to be brave in the small moments, those who choose care and empathy over comfort, truth over approval, and action over apathy. That's where every revolution of conscience begins, in the everyday choices of courageous people like you and I.
Yep.
Please go ahead, sister, jump right in.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. That is so properly put in very simple terms that touches every heart that cares for humanity. Thank you so much, and congratulations for that. And I like when you started by saying that um, when they say own your voice, doesn't mean that you have to be shouting and you have to pick on every little mistake or you have to want to contribute to everything.
No.
When you own your voice, you use your voice for purpose, like you said. You use
Mm-hmm.
your voice for purpose. And when you are working your purpose, it doesn't mean that you have to talk all the time. Remember, if you keep talking, talking, and talking, there are people that don't understand the difference between good or bad, depending on their background. A lot of times, quietness, just your presence is what we need. And then you keep taking that action because
Yes.
what transforms the world is not always shouting at people or calling them names or blaming them, pointing a finger at them, because we don't know and we will never know what brought certain people or certain situations to the point
True.
where they are. Our job and our purpose is to see how we can come together to find sustainable solutions
Yeah.
using empathy, like you said, compassion, putting yourself into someone else's shoe to
Yes.
feel what they are feeling,
Yeah.
because we all at one point in life we feel something that is not comfortable. Maybe it could just be hunger. You're hungry, and hunger is not just physical hunger. You're a child or a young person is hungry for an education, to learn a skill, to explore the gift that is within them, that is nurturing them, giving them an elbow, because those things are put in there to be acted upon. and
Mm-hmm.
and then it turns out in different behaviors. But because we don't take the patience and the time and the love to find out what is going on, we start naming them, we start stereotyping them, and we start calling them names. So that is so important. And then you said everyday injustice left unchecked eventually becomes everyone's problem.
It does. It
We,
has to.
we see it every day. When we
Mm-hmm.
ignore, and to say something doesn't mean you just open your mouth. You can say it with your pen. You can
Yes.
say it through poetry. You can say it through painting of something that
Mm-hmm.
symbolizes, and they will know. When you do that, it attracts people even more to
It does.
look into what you're doing. You use your talent to try to resolve a situation. You can write and publish a book, a
Yes.
lot of things. You can paint something, or you can decide to produce or to make a calendar that writes good things. And when people are turning through those calendars and doing their planning for the day, they read those things. Those are the subtle but impactful ways that we can use to change the world, by checking it. Because you don't want to irritate somebody by raising your voice against that person, unless you think about your words and you say them, but you can't always say them all the time. Remember, people don't understand certain things, no matter how you put them or how good they are. So there are
True.
so many ways that we can do that. And you also says systematic change begins at the moral level from within before moving outwards.
Yes.
Always moral aptitude is very, very important,
Mm-hmm.
because if you do not know yourself, the scripture says, know thyself. If you don't know who you are and who you were created to be and what you are doing, what is your purpose? Well, how are
True.
you doing it? Are you doing it just for yourself or your family, or you're doing it for the greatest good of the greatest majority, which is the world? That is what we are talking about here. Because remember, when we do something, whether it is good or bad, it has a ripple effect. First
Yes.
on us, our immediate family, and then those that depend on our immediate family, maybe it's a school or whatever, friendship circle or whatever. That is how these things begin to really have a ripple effect on everyone. So we want to choose with divine intervention to make sure that we are doing things that when it affects anybody, it's going to do it positively. And so this
Mm.
is such a beautiful thing, because even a spark of courage can light a generation. Just a spark,
Absolutely.
a
Yes.
little spark like that. So, and courage doesn't always roar, like you said. It does not always roar.
No,
Sometimes
it doesn't. Yep.
quiet voice that says, I will try again tomorrow. I tried today. At least you tried. You didn't just resign your fate to say, I'm not going to do it. Or you didn't just sit and wait for some big moment to happen. Like you
No.
said, like we talk about Nelson Mandela, we talk about Jim Rohn, we talk about Dr. Maya Angelou, we talk about Dr. Martin Luther King
Don't
Jr.
forget Malala, please.
Yes. We talk about our beautiful little girl, Malala Yousafzai. I talk
Yes.
about my grandmother, because
There you
that's
go.
who I celebrate first. Because if
Yep.
not of my grandmother, I would not be here today. And God
There you go.
help her to help me to be alive. And so this is very, very important. We don't forget about those people that are not remembered. Because a lot of time we are just talking about that, those that have been written in books, because there's a
Yes.
reason why they pick and choose those
Yes.
that have been written in books. We need to dig into our hearts and our communities, our villages, to see, and there are a lot of them there, they do it in silence. I think
Exactly.
about this mother, I'm still trying to look for her name. She was the mother of a locksmith in the village, the best locksmith in the village. Never went to that grandfather went to grade school. Okay,
Mm.
but
Mm.
this mother saw how the children were going to school tired, and because when a child goes to school, they don't have lunch. They become hungry by the time that the school closes. What did she do? She started volunteering to get clean water to the school, or
Mm.
right where at the juncture where the kids are going to school. And so, oh,
Right.
she always say, "Oh, these kids are hungry. They are hungry." She started with water, and then she started cracking palm kernels for snacks, because palm kernels are snack. They are very healthy. And then she started harvesting guavas and number one mangoes and all of those good things from the backyard, and then taking them to school. And then she also asked somebody to start making puff puff, and also roasted corn mixed with granite, which is a delicacy in my culture. And that is
Mm.
how she started helping for years until that mother passed. I'm still trying to get her name. Okay. And the son, who was a locksmith, when people could not just a locksmith, he did a lot of things. When people could not pay for what they needed for their home, guess what? He will do it for free, so long as you accept to plant a tree, uh, a tree of planting seeds of prosperity in
Oh, yeah.
the open
Mm-hmm.
or in the garden, so that we can continue to help these children and the community. Do you see
Yes.
that? It's not
Yes.
all about money. You do
No.
something so that something can move forward while that person does something to you for free. This is
Mm.
how we spread love, encourage, and rendering our voices through services for one another. So today we celebrate not fame, but faith in motion. Faith motion, because it has to begin from within. The everyday people who rise for fairness, no matter how they look, no matter how tall or short they are, but they are people, no matter how dirty they are. I just came from the store yesterday to do grocery for my mother for her new place. And this man was in a wheelchair, very, very filthy. And the man
Wow.
came up to me and said, I am hungry. I am hungry. And we know that some of those people, for sure, they're not very hungry, but they want to use that money to do something else. But it's not up
Yeah.
to us to judge them because we don't know why
Exactly.
they are
We
the
don't
way
know
they
which
are.
one is which
So
one
I
is which.
said,
We don't know. We don't know.
promise me, promise me that you're going to buy food. Promise
Yeah.
me. And he
Yeah.
said, I promise. I said, good. Then I gave him whatever that I gave him. That is how you can stand up for people. Little acts of kindness will really explode
Yes.
into an ocean of kindness. That's what we mean. You don't have to go and have a microphone and a platform to show kindness to people. A lot of time you show it, don't talk about it. Don't even want to people to contact you for it. That is what we are talking about here. And so at One Global Movement, we believe that hope multiplies through ordinary acts done with extraordinary faith,
Yes, it does.
that
Yes,
belief. And through those acts, we teach our children, our young people, that fairness is love in action.
it is.
Fairness is love in action. Do not, if you're in school, you see something being done to your classmate or to a fellow schoolmate, and you just walk by. No, no. You might not want to remove your phone and do something about it right there because you might be targeted. But go somewhere and do something, or you can just and really hold your hands in such a way that it shows, it symbolizes your heart, what you're thinking. A lot of
Yes.
those are little acts, they count. When people see that, something has to happen. Even so, the
Mm-hmm.
creator will send something that will help that situation. That's what we are talking about. And then so
Yes.
how do we understand everyday courage? If you think you are too small to make a difference, you have never spent the night with a mosquito. That's something that an
I
African proverb that I was taught.
like that. I
My,
like that.
my grandmother taught me a lot of African proverbs. If you think you are too small to make a difference, you have never spent the night with a mosquito.
This is true. Yes.
Yes, that is so true. So every courage is not about heroism. You don't have to be a hero or a heroine. It's about habits of justice.
Amen.
Do unto others, the scripture says, do unto others what you will like or see others do unto you. What are you doing? Did you ask yourself, if this act was done to me, how would I feel? So
Exactly.
when we ask that, and it's a daily choice, it's a daily
It
something that
is.
we have to. When you make that choice and you take little acts of kindness, it works. It's the teacher who refuses to tolerate bullying. As
Yep.
simple as that. Tolerate bullying. The child who includes someone left out.
Yep.
Remember that table that we talk about where they say these ones that have the money to pay, they will eat this healthy food from this table,
Mm-hmm.
and this one will eat unhealthy food.
Yep.
Because these children are hungry, they will just eat anyway. But you, who is eating from the other table, include the child that the parents are unable to pay. This is what
True.
we are talking about. So, the teen who posts kindness online when the internet feels cruel,
Mm-hmm.
the internet feels cruel. They are cussing you out and calling you names. Do you have to call the names back? No. You
No,
just go in there, and this works. It works.
it does.
Just
It
write
does.
something, or you can create your Facebook page to be acts of kindness or love or compassion, and then you keep posting little things. That alone will
Yes.
will impact the world in ways that you've never known. So
Sure.
courage is
Sure.
not noise. It's consistency in compassion.
Yep.
It's not just noise. It's consistency in compassion, and that is how fairness grows in schools, in communities, and the
It
digital
is.
world. We are in the digital world. Please, let's be mindful of when somebody, the word like my grandmother taught me, when somebody throws water at you, it's not going to do you anything unless you accept it. Unless you
Yes.
accept it. And if you
Yes.
don't accept it, what do? You respond with good words. And that
Yes.
person might be infuriated, but in the end, they're going to learn something. That alone will bring some peace within them and say, but is there really any need for all of this? So, a mother's voice, I will give you examples. A mother's voice in Kenya, a mother named Asheng Megan, teaching children under a tree, under a
Yes.
tree. And she didn't wait for policy change because
Mm-hmm.
remember that the government has their hands full too. We need
That's
to
true.
we need to really put ourselves in their shoes. She never
Yes.
waited for a policy change. She started where she stood. Right where you are, you have trees. You
Yeah.
might not have a garage, or you might not even have a home. You can do
Yes.
something,
Mm-hmm.
and sitting under a tree, that's picnic, that's nature, and that's good.
Yes.
You don't have
Yes.
to break. Like that tree became a school, and that school became
Yes.
hope for those children in that community. Another example is a youth stand, a youth that stood for something. A teenager girl in the United States. This time it's in the United States, and this is true. Notice her classmates struggling with self-esteem because of online bullying,
Oh.
and we have that a lot. She
Mm-hmm.
created a kindness online club,
Oh.
kindness club online, where students post uplifting messages. Her one post reached thousands. Her small act reshaped a culture. And this is true. I've read those things a lot because I'm so much into research, looking for young people and kids, kids as young as 5. We talk about
Yes.
the child that said, kept telling the parent, when I grow up, I'm going to feed the community. And
Mm-hmm.
he never deviated from that language until they had to help him make it happen. This child was carried behind a beautiful car, and everywhere he went, he had those sandwiches already. And you have to buy those sandwiches at good places because you cannot cook unless you have the license to do.
Yes. Yes.
So
Yes. Yes.
that's what he did. We can
Yes.
all do this. We can all, even if don't say you don't have, just $1 or $2 can buy a hamburger, a healthy hamburger for somebody,
Yeah.
or maybe those that are begging on the street. So this is what we are talking about. How one post reached thousands, and I'm sure by now they've reached millions. You
I'm
know,
sure.
yeah,
I'm
we talk
sure.
about a child's compassion. In Ghana, for instance, a boy named Kojo began sharing his lunch with a friend who often went hungry. His friend joined in. Soon, the school launched a sharing table to make sure no one was left behind. Do you
Yes.
see that? And if you
Yes.
go, you Google Kojo from Ghana, all of these names, you will find them. But there are so
Yes.
many of them around us. We do,
Yep.
there's so many. Just research and see what these kids are doing, and so that we join in, we bring them up, their names, and quote them here as example, because these kids that we are talking about here, they will see, and then they will join in, or they can even contribute so that they can continue to do the good work that they are doing. And so these
Yeah.
are not random acts. They're
They're
not.
not.
They are
No.
rays of divine courage. Each
Yes.
one challenges injustice with the simplest weapon of all, love in action. That is the
It is.
simplest weapon, and that's the most impactful weapon of all weapons
It
that
is.
we might think of in the world. That's where we begin. Because when you do this, think about somebody that holds a gun, or holds a knife or a sword, or maybe wants to spit out a word of venom on somebody. What do they do when they see this? That weakens them. It really breaks their bones, and sometimes those things just fall to the ground because of
Yes.
what you are doing. And I will quote Comfy. I don't know how to pronounce this name, but Confucius,
Mhm.
the
Yes, correct.
one, yes, the one who moves a mountain begins by carrying small stones.
Ah,
Small,
yes, of
small.
course.
That's what he says, and I believe him because like you said last time, Rome was not built in a day.
It was not.
We didn't get here just like all like that. No, it started with suffering. And what can you do in your moments of challenges? That is where it started.
It
I can
is.
I can walk around. I can do this. I can pick some palm nuts and cook. I can crack some kernels to eat. I can go to move toward the road to see how I can ask these children to teach me while in the bush. And these kids are happy because you are giving them that courage to know that they have the knowledge. They
Yes.
can teach you. They're not just coming to teach you. They too are gaining, and that's why they are happy to come. So it's very important. Ask
It is.
yourself, what small stone or stones can I lift this week, even today, beginning today, to make life fairer for someone else? What small
Yep.
stones can you lift? Maybe it's just calling somebody to say, "Hi, I've not heard from you in a long time. Is everything okay?" Like sister is
Mm-hmm.
always doing to me, So in my home, right, beginning in your home, school, community, or online, the cold weather is coming. Think about how you're going to help your neighbor. Do you have the tools? Or think about how you can rake the leaves and also rake part of your neighbors. That is small. Those are all small acts of kindness. Those are little stones that you can uplift so that when they come, they can quickly finish the other thing. So I invite all of us to share briefly in the chat, please, and
Mm-hmm.
affirm it to yourself. Just little acts of kindness that you can do starting from today and this week. So fairness begin with me. Write it there. Fairness begin with me, and that is so
Mm-hmm.
important. So the power of unity. When remember the spider webs. When spider webs unite, they can tie up a lion. Isn't that true? That is an Ethiopian proverb. When
Yes.
spider webs unite, they can tie up
Yes.
a lion. That is so
This,
true.
yes.
Are those
Absolutely.
remember you sent me something about holding hands to raise money for humanity. When you
Millions of
hold my
people.
hand,
Yeah.
I hold your hand, we become solid in one. We hold. Do you
Yep.
know what that says? A lot.
Yep.
Think about
It
the
does.
spider web and Ethiopian pearl. We are those webs. You and I, all of us here in the chat, on the stage, all of us in our community, beginning from our home, we are those spider webs. Diverse, radiant, united in love, very important. Each act of fairness, each word of courage, each child we uplift becomes a thread in a web strong enough to tie down the lion of injustice. We
Yes.
can do that. Children are doing that around the world, and we parents must do just like we are doing here and even better. At One Global Movement, we say no child should face hunger, cruelty, or silence alone. Together, we weave protection, empowerment, and joy. So, in closing, I will close with this blessing and a call to action. Courage is choosing the act even when your voice shakes. Do you know sometimes I get nervous? You can hear it from my voice. I will stutter. I will say things. And we all do because that is just part of humanity, right? So it's teaching our children that fairness is sacred. 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 That kindness is also strength. And together, let us be the movement that raises a generation of digital peacemakers, compassionate leaders, and fearless truth tellers. And when we talk about this internet thing, this is the age. Please let us apply ethics all the time. Love is ethics. Let us apply justice all the time. So now say it with me if you can, or you type it in. One act of courage.
Mm-hmm.
Sister, you
One
can
act,
do it after me if you want. One
one
act
act
of
of
courage.
courage. Mm-hmm.
One global movement.
One global movement.
Together we rise.
Together we rise.
So with every step of faith, we become light for a child, strength for a mother, and hope for the world. So, Lord of light and justice, let
Amen.
our small acts rise like seeds of change. In kindness, give us courage. In courage, give us peace. And through both, let your hope bloom in us. Thank you guys so much for listening.
Amen. Thank you, everyone. Yes. Very powerful.
Yes.
Everyday courage simply means being the change we want to see in the world. That's what it is.
Yep.
It starts right there because as the beginning of my story, when I said This young lady finally had enough. She said, that is not funny. And then everybody pretty much joined her. It just takes one person to step out and step up.
Yep.
So many people are waiting for leaders. But as we say here so often, every single person is a leader. You're leading your own life. Don't
Mhm.
wait for somebody else to do it.
Yep.
We're cautious. We're saying, don't put yourself in harm's way. That's true. As you mentioned with the phone, take it to the phone, step
Mhm.
aside, call help, report the bullying, some such thing. You don't necessarily have to confront this person who is enraged, because you never know how lunatic, I'm sorry, that's the word I'm going to use,
Mhm.
somebody is. Because I was just reading today about something that happened in my own country here. This person went just berserk and went on a train and just started stabbing people. I think, and this brave conductor, he stood between them, and he's now very mortally wounded, but he saved so many lives by
Yep.
stepping in. That's a dangerous thing to do, but he just couldn't stand by.
Mhm.
So there are different levels of courage, because I don't know how many of us will be called to do something like that, to
Mhm.
step between a mad person, and mentally ill person, whatever you want to call it, and and saving people's lives. Now, he's definitely become into the hero category, because his name is going to be all over. But it doesn't have to be that much. It just simply has to do like what that young woman said. That is not funny, and it
Yep.
ends there.
Yep.
Once you stop that, it stops.
Yep.
Yeah.
And when you see these people that are mentally challenged, we can start by advocating in our communities, in churches, even writing petitions to the government, because these people, they are sick. They are really sick, and they need to be put in a safe place first for their lives, because some of them do take away their own lives too. First for their
Okay.
lives, and also for the community, because that man had the courage and heroism in him to step and save the lives of many. So
Yes.
you start by advocating. Let's not just walk by and say, "Oh, look at he's crazy," or "He's on drugs," or "He's on this." We don't
Yeah.
know the circumstances under
We
which
don't know.
things
You never
work.
know.
We know a lot of things go wrong in our communities because people manipulate a lot,
Yes.
and then
Yeah.
somebody get caught up in those situations, and then they start to suffer, and then we start to stereotype them. So we are
Yeah.
here especially to see what we can do as a group, as a family, and help, because one act of kindness ripples across the globe. This is
It
very
does.
important. I was my son, he likes to help, to step in or something. He left from work um, about a year ago, and I looked. He wasn't yet here. I said, but I called, and he answered, and he said, "Mommy, I will not talk now, but I will tell you what I'm doing." I said, "No, come home. This is dark. Come home. There's nothing else that you can do. This is dark." So he came home. He said there were two people that were fighting, and he was standing just to make sure that he saved the other person that was a smaller one. I said,
Yes.
you can't stand there. When they see you, that person that is trying to hurt the other person will hurt you. So what you could have done, the best was to just step aside somewhere from their sight and
Yes.
call the police, because the police will come with skills and things
They're
that.
trained. They're
Yeah.
trained for that. Yes,
So this is
absolutely.
very, very important. So take care, but always make sure that, because if you're not safe, you can't help somebody else.
You
You have
can't. Exactly. Exactly.
That's so important. So thank you so much, sister.
Yes. Thank you.
Greetings, greetings, everyone here. Thank you so much. Today's Wednesday. Why do I keep thinking it's Friday? I keep
Don't rush the week, please. The month is already going so fast.
So thank you guys so much for joining us here again today. We applaud, and we really appreciate you. Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Roy Zehab. Thank you so much for joining us here. We appreciate you. And let's go. Our managing director is here. Thank you so much, John, for what you're doing to support our population and our family here. We appreciate you. And John says, folks, uh, hold your here. What is that? Folks, hold. You are here. Give this channel. Okay. Okay. Big thumbs up. Okay. Thank you so
I
much.
think AI interfered with what he was writing. He means, folks, while you are here, give
Okay,
this channel a big thumbs up. Yeah, but AI
yeah.
must have, yeah, stepped in.
AI is thinking sometime ahead. If you don't look, you send the message is
Yeah,
wrong.
I know. I
Always
have to be
they
very
think that
careful.
they know you 100%,
Yes,
but not
yes,
that. So now
yeah.
I've tried to always go back and check because I do those make
I
those
do
mistakes.
too, because it's really messing around sometimes.
Please always like and follow us
Our
because this is
Facebook
one of
link.
the
Yeah.
easiest ways that you can show little acts of kindness to make sure that we reach every child in the world. You can just go there. It's just 1 minute, you're done. Like and follow. And maybe try to bring some people in to like and follow. You're playing your part for the children in your community. This is serious. And if we know that we are working for humanity, we should begin with these little acts of kindness because these will give the algorithms and AI uh, to 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 really help us reach the entire world, especially these children, because no child deserves to be left behind. Hello, Nokuthala. How are you? Thank you so much for joining us, and we appreciate you. And we have Nomo B Pramanik. Thank you so much. Those are at this makes it a little bit challenging to read those things. So
Yeah,
thank
it
you so
does.
much for joining us today. We appreciate you. And welcome everyone, and thank you for your time and loyal support for One Global Movement, where we are focused on action to empower young people of the world. And please, I ask people, this is where we can join. And if you have your own platforms too, let us know because if it is supporting women, children, and young people, because this is our goal here, let us know so that we can attend. And if you need us to help, maybe to come and speak there, you can also let us know, because when we do this, we support one another. It will have a ripple effect throughout the world. Because what else can we do? What else have we been called to do but to support these children and young people? And of course, women, supporting the mothers, supporting the young women who are being more challenged than anything in the world. So please, let's do that. Don't just come here. If you have something going on, let us also know. And you can subscribe to StreamYard. This is what we are using, and you can see it is very good. When you support, $10 is going to go towards One Global Movement, and we can use that to help children. $10 is a lot of money, okay, in certain parts of the world.
Yes.
So we have our brother Gutam first. Hello, Gutam. Thank you so much. We appreciate your support. And we thank M. Suresh Kumar. Thank you so much for being with us here. We highly appreciate you. And let's go here. Thank you, guys. Let me go. Let me not miss anything. And
No,
we
you.
have uh, Anup Dului. Thank you so much for being with us here, sir. We appreciate you. And please don't forget to put the big thumbs up, like the managing director said. Should be the very first thing, so that it will attract more people around the world to know what we are doing here and to hopefully also help themselves with what we are doing. And every courage can be paid forward, certainly. You paid forward. You're talking about paying it forward. When I went to shop, do grocery for my mom this morning, I,
Yes,
I, a lady, because it's all these, you have to put a quarter in the cart to make sure that you bring the cart back.
yes,
Lady
yes,
just
yes.
say, "Hey, ma'am, are you going to do grocery?" I
Yeah.
said, "Take this." So I took it. I didn't have to slot the quarter in there. So when I
Yeah.
when I came out, I was done. And then I was looking for
The
somebody.
same thing happens, right? You give it to
Going to
somebody else. Yeah, I know. It
They
happens
said,
here
"Here,
all the time.
take,
Yes.
this quarter." I said, "No, no, you took it.
Yeah.
Somebody helped me too, and they've always been
Yes.
helping me. So
Yes.
you take
Yes.
it and pay it forward to another person." And so that
Yeah.
was a very good thing to do.
That's love in action, right?
Yes,
Exactly.
love in
Yeah.
action, or you see somebody struggling, maybe they can't walk well because maybe their leg is hurting, or there's an elderly person, go push
Yep.
their cart and really help them put their grocery into their
Absolutely.
cart. Those are little acts of kindness. What
Yes.
you've done is you have really shown love, and she will or he will go home very happy. This is what we
Yes.
need, and
Yes.
this is what we
Yes.
are saying here. You just call somebody. Oh, I haven't heard from this person for long. and we
Absolutely.
go
Yes.
online or somehow we contact that person. So that is a very beautiful thing to do for all of us
Yeah.
here. So,
Yeah.
sister, if you have anything else,
Oh, it's a very short closing. It's another call to action. I just want to say affirmation. Just say, I will live with everyday courage. I'm speaking to
I
everybody.
will live with everyday courage.
Everyday courage to care, to speak, to act, and to uplift, knowing that small acts of justice build a better world. It's very simple.
Mhm.
Our Creator in Psalm 82, verse 3 to 4, it says, in the Bible, it commands us to defend the poor and fatherless, do justice to the afflicted and needy, deliver the poor and needy, rid them of the hand of the wicked.
There you go.
That's what he tells us to do. And he doesn't tell us it has to be a big thing. He just says, do it. Wherever you are. Doesn't say go and start a war. That's not what he's saying. Right around where you are. When you see these things, you step in safely, as Sister and I are saying. Don't put yourself in harm's way, but find some way of letting the other person know that they're seen. They're seen and heard and cared for.
Yep.
This is how we change the world.
Definitely, definitely. Thank you so much. We love you all. And until Friday, please come and let's continue to do this. We cannot relent our efforts because there's a child going hungry right now as we speak. There's a child that does have never seen the four walls of a classroom or even has that opportunity to sit under a tree to be taught. And this is
Yes.
so true. It is
Yes.
going on in the world. There is a child that the parents are unable to pay the tuition for one reason or the other, and this is who we are here. Please, let's do this together. And if you have anything, any topic, or anything that you want us to really talk about, or a business that you're doing, or you want us to congratulate your child for graduating from school, all of those things, those are the little acts of kindness, and those are the things that matter. Bring them here. We are here for you and for our children. We love you. Until Friday, stay safe.
Bye, everyone. Thank you for coming.
Bye. Okay.